So let's get right into the course. And the first question I know would be in your mind is, what exactly is SQL? What exactly does SQL mean? What is it used for? Who are those who use SQL and every other thing? So we'll try and answer those questions at this initial stage. So we'll take it up from there and then go deeper into what SQL really means. When it comes to SQL is basically a structured queried language. So that's the full meaning. It's an acronym for structured query language, and it's a standardized programming language specifically designed to manage, to query and manipulate relational databases. I want to highlight the keyword there, relational databases. Alongside this, manage, query and manipulate data. It serves as a crucial tool for storing, retrieving and analyzing data, making it one of the most fundamental skills for anyone working with data. SQL is one of the most important tools or skills for a data analyst, you're a data engineer, anybody working with data generally, like I said in the introduction of the course. If you say you're a data analyst and you don't have the skill called SQL, you are not, I would say you are not fully complete. if you can permit me to use something like that, or I would say you are not a full data analyst, because the ability to manage relational database is very much important. Of course, I will go on and then I will explain what this relational database mean. And as we go on, also managing, querying, it's just English words. So managing, querying, manipulating. Managing means how you're able to manage, write data into your database. Query means retrieval of the data that you've stored in your database. Manipulate means you want to make changes, you want to add, you want to update. So those are things that you can do with your relational database. Yes, I know it's still a bit not so clear what exactly it is, but let's look at database and would get on from there. Now, when it comes to SQL, there are things you should note. The important things you should know. The first one is the database. Like I said earlier, database is an organized collection that allows for easy access, keyword access, management and updates of your data. It stores information in a structured way so that it can be efficiently retrieved or updated. What does this mean simply? This means that basically database is what is used to save or store your data. Remember, you generate data. Data is not just kept, it's not just allowed to fly anywhere. It's actually harnessed or kept in a safe place where it's all security and every other measure is in place. That place it is kept is called a database. Alright, so database allows for easy retrieval, easy access, easy management of your data. So that is what the database is called. And another thing to note is that database stores your data or your information in a structured manner, because it doesn't matter the structure at which the data came into the database, because there are two data structures. There's the unstructured and then there's the structured data. I'll talk more about that as we go on, but it doesn't matter. Even if your data was unstructured before or was a structured data, database will still store your data in a structured way, okay, so that it can be easily retrieved, it can be easily queried or accessed when needed. Now let's go to the next two important things we should note. Since we've talked about database and I said there are two types of structure of your data, and the structure of your data determines determines the database that you will be using. Unstructured, there's the structured majorly. So those are the two major categories of data structure. Now your unstructured data goes into the non-relational database, or what they call NoSQL database. Non-relational database also means NoSQL database. That means it is not structured. So this is used for getting your unstructured data. Okay, it is used to get your data that is not structured or in a tabular form. Like if you remember your Excel files, if you look at your Excel files, they're in a tabular form. They have a bit of structure. They have structure. You have the rows, you have the columns. So those are structures. But there are some data like your pictures, your videos, your music files. many other files like that. It really has no defined structure. Those are unstructured data. So your, like I said, your videos, your audios, your web pages, to some extent, they are all data that needs to be stored. Analysis can be done on them. So they are unstructured data, and then it is stored in a non-relational database. It's stored in a non-relational database, and a typical example of a non-relational database is MongoDB. So MongoDB is an example of a non-relational database. It can store data that is not structured. Okay, so it saves or stores data that is not structured. The next one which we'll look at is the relational database. Relational database, also known as the SQL database, which is our focus in this course, is the type of database that helps to store information that is in a structured or tabular format. Like I said, your Excel tables having the rows, columns, so those have structures. And data with structure can be stored in a relational database. So the structure of your data will determine the database your data will go into. Okay, and then since our focus is on the SQL database, there are lots of SQL databases available. You have the MySQL, you have the Postgre, you have the SQLite, you have the SQL Server, which would be, of course, we'll be using the SQL Server for this course. But there are many other ones. So you're not just limited to SQL Server. You have this, and then there are many other ones, even outside of the ones I've listed it. So you are not in any way limited, and they all work the same way, almost the same way. But these are the examples of SQL databases that we have. But the major one, which is the Microsoft SQL Server, is what we'll be looking at for this class.